My daughter's kindergarten teacher scheduled an emergency meeting to discuss the drawings she won't stop making of our house. Emma draws constantly, always has. Crayons, markers, chalk on the driveway. She draws our house probably 50 times a week. Same purple door, same window boxes with flowers, same oak tree in the front yard. It's cute. Repetitive, but cute. So when Mrs. Kowalski called asking for an emergency parent-teacher conference, I assumed Emma had been hoarding art supplies or something harmless like that. I walked into the classroom expecting a friendly conversation. Instead, Mrs. Kowalski looked like she hadn't slept in days. Her hands were shaking as she spread 20 drawings across her desk. Your daughter has been drawing these non-stop for 3 weeks, she said. I looked down. Every single drawing was our house. Purple door, window boxes, oak tree. Exactly like always. Okay, I said slowly. She loves drawing our house. She's been doing it since she could hold a crayon. Mrs. Kowalski pointed to the corner of one drawing. There was a small figure in the upstairs window. Just a basic stick figure with a circle head. Who is this? That's Emma. She draws herself in her bedroom window sometimes. Mrs. Kowalski's jaw tightened. She pulled out another drawing. Same house, same window, but this time there were 2 stick figures. One large, one small. She started adding the second figure 2 weeks ago, Mrs. Kowalski said. I asked her who it was. She said it was the man who watches her sleep. My blood went cold. What? Mrs. Kowalski laid out more drawings. In every single one, there were now 2 figures in Emma's window. The larger one always stood behind the smaller one. At first, I thought it was you or your wife checking on her at night, Mrs. Kowalski continued. But then she drew this. She slid forward a drawing that made my stomach drop. Our house, Emma's window. 2 figures. But this time, the larger figure had an X over its face, and Emma had written in clumsy kindergarten handwriting, "Not mommy, not daddy." When did she draw this? Yesterday. And this morning, she drew this. The newest drawing showed our house with Emma's window circled in red crayon. The 2 figures were still there, but Emma had added an arrow pointing to the larger one with the words, "He comes every night." I grabbed my phone with shaking hands and called my wife Sienna. Did you check on Emma last night? No, she was already asleep when I got home. Why? I hung up and looked at Mrs. Kowalski. We need to call the police right now. Mrs. Kowalski already had her phone out. 2 officers arrived within 15 minutes. I showed them the drawings, and I watched their faces change exactly the way mine had. Sir, we're going to need to go to your house immediately. I called Sienna again and told her to meet us there. Then I called my neighbor Patricia, who picks Emma up from school every day because I work late. My voice was shaking so badly, I could barely form words. Patricia, has anyone else been at my house? Anyone at all? No, honey. Just me and Emma. Why? Where is she now? Taking her afternoon nap in her room like always. My heart stopped. Get her out of that room right now. Take her to your house and lock the doors. Patricia's voice went sharp with fear. What's happening? Just do it, please. We got to my house at the same time as 3 more police cars. Sienna was already there, standing in the driveway looking terrified. Officers went in first with weapons drawn. I heard them climbing the stairs. Then I heard shouting, a crash, and someone yelling, "Get on the ground!" Sienna grabbed my arm. 1 officer came out first, then 2 more, dragging a man in handcuffs between them. He was thin, maybe mid-30s, with greasy hair and dead eyes. I'd never seen him before in my life. An officer walked over to us. Sir, we found him hiding in your daughter's closet. There's a hole cut through the back wall leading to your attic. He's been living in your walls. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Sienna caught me before my knees gave out. How long? I whispered. Based on the nest he built up there, at least a month, maybe longer. He's been watching her through a gap in the wall beside her bed. They found a duffel bag in the attic. Inside were photos, hundreds of photos. Emma sleeping, Emma playing, Emma drawing at her little desk, all taken through that gap in the wall. The man's name was Scott Brenner, registered sex offender. He'd been wanted in 2 states for breaking into homes with children. Later that night, after Emma was safe with my sister and the police had finally left, I went back to the school and found Mrs. Kowalski still in her classroom. She was crying. You saved her, I said. If you hadn't paid attention to those drawings, she shook her head. I almost didn't. I almost dismissed it as a kid with an overactive imagination. The detective told us Emma's drawings probably prevented an abduction. Brenner had been escalating, getting bolder, staying in her room longer each night. He was building up to something. My daughter drew that man because she didn't have words for what was happening. In the dark, half asleep, she'd see a shadow that didn't belong, so she put it in the one place someone would eventually see. Her drawings. We moved 3 weeks later. Emma's new room is on the 1st floor between ours and her brother's, and when she draws now, there's only 1 figure in the windows, hers.